Well, there's been another incident of violence and bullying at schools that has emerged this time around in the Northwest Province. Now, in a video that is actually making the rounds, a pupil is seen holding a firearm and chasing after another pupil in Wolmaransstad. Police are investigating the incident. So for more on this, we're joined on the line now by Brigadier Sabata Mukhabone, who is the spokesperson of the Northwest Police. Thank you so much, Brigadier, for your time this morning. Can we perhaps start off with getting clarity in terms of what transpired when it comes to this school and the learners that are involved, including one of the learners' father?
Good morning to you, Faith, and good morning to the viewers at home. I must indicate from the beginning that I won't be able to give each and every detail that transpired of the incident that transpired in Wolmaransstad. The reason being that this matter is still under investigation. But what we can say is that apparently on the 7th of September, there was sort of a parents' meeting at one of the schools in Wolmaransstad, apparently due to infighting among members, of which the information we have at hand is that this particular incident actually started last weekend in Wolmaransstad, not really at the school. So, but then after, on Wednesday after the parents' meeting, that's when we started to, we actually had this confrontation among learners. So, and unfortunately during the incident or the confrontation, we are told that one of the learners, we don't know how did he manage to grab or get hold of his father's firearm. Then he ended up chasing other learners while holding that particular firearm.
Have we as yet managed to establish the reason behind the conflict? I mean, you're saying that it starts off in the parents' meeting. Do you know what exactly was going on in the parents' meeting that led to the subsequent escalation?
Not really, but what we can say is that apparently the meeting was actually over. The incident happened after the meeting had taken place. So we really don't know what could have led to this, except to say that, like I indicated earlier, that it seems that this thing did not actually start on Wednesday. It started over the weekend in Wolmaransstad. So hence there was that particular meeting to try and resolve this matter because it was actually involving learners.
It is quite disturbing, Brigadier, and I'm sure for yourself as well, to be able to witness on television and even by video a young person carrying a gun and chasing after another learner as we're witnessing right now. Where is that said learner? Where is the father right now? Have they been charged? Are there any arrests that have been made? What's going on so far?
You are correct, Faith. It is actually disturbing and it's actually disappointing because through our social crime prevention activities, we are visiting quite a number of schools, if not all, to try and address issues relating to bullying, gender-based violence, gangsterism, everything. But then, unfortunately, then we end up having an incident like this one. At this stage, we can confirm that we have 3 cases have been opened. It's actually 3 cases of assault. And then the 4th case is for contravention of Section 120(10)(a) of the Firearms Control Act. Sorry. We haven't been able to effect any arrests at this stage. Our investigations are still underway. We hope that maybe during the process of investigation, we'll also be able to get information that will be able to assist us also to find out as to what could have led to this particular incident. So we are also calling all members of the community, the learners as well, to come forward with information that will be able to assist us during the investigation process.
Help us understand here, Brigadier. To carry a firearm, let's say that if you're under the age of 18 or, for example, or even 18 for that matter, whether it's I mean, clearly this is a learner. I don't expect that learner to actually have a license to a gun, right? So to carry a firearm and to be running with the firearm displayed very vividly on video, as we're seeing with this young boy, is that a crime in South Africa, to be carrying a firearm?
Remember that in order for one to carry a firearm, he or she must be having a license to carry that particular firearm. But then maybe we need to indicate that the case that we have opened for contravention of Section 120(10)(a), It talks to, among others, selling or supplying or giving permission of a firearm or ammunition to a person who is not allowed in terms of the act to possess that firearm. So, hence I say that we are still investigating because we still also need to find out as to whether did the child get the firearm or did the fire give the firearm to the child. But at the end of the day, we have opened this particular case for investigation, and I can also confirm that we have seized that firearm that was used on that day.
So you've got kids that were chasing each other around, or a child that was chasing another child around, or a learner that was chasing another learner around with the firearm. You've got a father that is involved in an incident. There's clearly an issue that happened within a parents' meeting that was said to have taken place even prior to that parents' meeting that has now been escalated. These are people that are walking around free, Brigadier. Now, my concern is, how do you then, as the SAPS, actually monitor the situation so that you don't find yourself with another escalation? Just because you were able to apprehend this firearm, there's nothing that stops either the learner, who was so hell-bent in chasing that other learner, from taking up some kind of other arm, right, to finish off what was started, or even the parents themselves. Because if this is brewing, then if you don't have control over it, it's going to spill over. So what are you guys doing to make sure that you don't have another sort of case in your hands because of this?
I think we must also indicate, say that we indicated that this incident took place after parents' meeting, and it did not take place in school premises. It took place outside school premises. But then, like I indicated, we are doing our best as the police to try and make sure that we prevent incidents like this one. And the only thing that we can do for now, we need to talk and educate our children about all illegal activities or all social ills, and to advise them to try as much as possible to stay away from committing crime, and where possible to try and advise them. But in this particular case, remember, like I indicated, that we have also opened cases that are still under investigation. But opening cases for investigation or arrest someone, it is not enough, like you correctly indicated. We will continue as the police to try and make sure that we visit school, we talk to our children, we talk to the parents, so that at the end of the day, we prevent incidents like this one.
Yeah, I definitely hear you. It's scary. It's scary to know that children are able to do this to each other in broad daylight.
No, you are correct. It's scary. I don't think that anybody expected that something like this will actually happen. That's why we still also want to find out as to whether was this child given a firearm or he grabbed the firearm from his father, so that we get to the bottom of this matter. Because remember that the owner of a firearm is also responsible to make sure that his or her firearm is always safe.
Yeah. Brigadier, I have to leave it here, but thank you very much for your time this morning. Northwest Police spokesperson Brigadier Sabata Mukhwabon.